Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another episode of
Good Morning, Eagleville.
I'm your host, Pastor Eric, youth pastor here at Eagleville Bible Church. Along with me,
I am Pastor Adam, the family pastor here at Eagleville.
Ooh,
Yeah.
What's new these days?
There's a ton of stuff that's new. We are entering our first week of June. So to me, what? It's
Summer
officially
months.
a summer. Well, yeah.
Even though it's not officially official.
Yeah. Well, to me it is. So this is our first week where we are doing one episode of Good Morning Eagleville. So this is your episode for the week. So make sure that you catch that. You can also catch up on previous episodes on YouTube at Eagleville Bible Church.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down in the comments.
Smash that like button. All right. Sometimes you have to scroll down a little bit. We got bumped down on the page. Anyway, so it's been a good week. What was going on with the sermon this week? Pastor Bill spoke on Sunday. You want to tell us about it?
Yeah, I preached a sermon called Winning Character, how to have an exemplary character. Did you write down those notes I told you to write down? Nope. Take our word for it. He preached a great sermon on winning character using the story of Daniel, which I love those Old Testament stories that are like the actual story, you know? And it just, it's just so awesome, like what people did, like the choices that Daniel made and how he stood up for God's word and for what was right. And I just love that, so.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the Daniel and the lion's den, which you normally get. You kind of hear about that in when you're a kid. He actually talked about his character, and I thought it was good. You know, talked about character in our society today and how we are to be acting. So I thought it was really good. In our kids ministry, what we've got going on, we've got a new Facebook group. Check that out today. There's new content over there, letting the parents know what we're talking about this Sunday as we come back. June 7th. Is our first Sunday back, so make sure that your kids are a part of that. We'll have junior church, unlimited, and nursery, so make sure that they are there for that. Also, we just want to let you know that the kids will be taken care of. We have precautions that are outlined for all of our staff. And the kids, as they come in, they will get their hands sanitized. We'll have workers there at the stations that will be giving them name tags. So that will be taken care of, and then when they go to do their work or their notes and everything, we have individualized crayons, colored pencils, and pencils for them, so that they'll be taken care of, and those will be sanitized after each service. So we will be taking care of them. What's going on with the youth?
We're finally back this Sunday, 5:30 p.m. That includes the incoming 6th grade students as well. We have some precautions set as well. Mandatory hand washing here and there, hand sanitizers throughout the building, wipe down chairs, yada yada, this, that, the other thing. But we'll be back. That's in my opinion, the important part. Yeah. That's the exciting part. So Sunday night, 5:30 p.m. right here at the church. So,
and I'm wearing my Myrtle Beach shirt for you.
Thank you.
Going to Myrtle Beach on your mission trip.
Yeah, end of this month, 4 weeks, which hearing me say out loud really brings it to life a little bit. Yeah, end of this month, our senior high is taking a trip to Myrtle Beach, doing a mission trip there, working behind the scenes, non-contact, not working with any people groups. I've mentioned this a time or two before. So yeah, we'll be working with a ministry organization and just basically doing a lot of work projects, helping this outreach organization get set up as best we can for their relaunch in the fall with all their ministries that they do. So yeah, I'm very excited because it's very challenging, very impactful week for our senior high students as well. And It's in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
So
can't get much better than that.
We're over a nice sunny week there.
So we have a fun game for you and for us. This is our Get to Know You game. So you get to know us a little bit, and we'll get to know you. So we're kind of focusing on tech today. So want to get to know you and your tech preferences. So put that in the comments below as we ask these questions, and you get to put your answers down below. So you missed that, we are doing a game called Get to Know You, and we have tech questions, and so we'll be asking them, and you just put your answers down below. So the first question we have for you is, what is your favorite app on your phone?
My favorite app is Strava. That's what I use to record my bike rides and stuff. Tells me how far I've went. Oh, someone's calling me right now. It tells me how far I went, my mileage. I wear a heart rate monitor, tracks my heart rate. It's an exercise app. What about you? What's your favorite app?
My favorite app, I would have to say, I'd probably have to go with Instagram. Yeah, nice. I like seeing the pictures of everybody. So tell us, what is your favorite app? One that you love that you're always using?
Here's the next question. App you spend the most time on? What app do you spend the most time on?
The app I spend the most time on, if you don't already know, I do a lot here at the church with our social media. So it probably would be Facebook. I'm not a big fan of Facebook, but I do spend a lot of time on Facebook, especially now with the Eagleville Kids group, getting to know what's going on and keeping people up to date. What app do you spend the most time on?
Instagram, for sure. I follow a ton of like nature, picturesque, national park photography kind of stuff, wildlife. Love that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of people I follow as well. So
I do think that it's become more interesting on Instagram since they have Insta stories now. Even Facebook has that, so you get to really get to know what's going on in people's lives.
Yeah, I mean, and they're all basically the same thing. Like I use it for texting. I can send pictures with it. I can do a little story. I can make a post and write something about it. Things like that. Can you do that with like Facebook? Yes. Can you do that with Instagram? Yes. Snapchat, pretty much. So are they all the same but all different? Yeah.
A little bit.
But Instagram is king, in my opinion.
Instagram is king. All right. What app would you suggest everyone gets?
I suggest everyone have the Bible app for sure. That's my like real answer.
Your go-to, yeah.
You can have it in translation. It's always in your pocket. That way you don't have an excuse of, yeah, you do. It's in your pocket. Or I use the Chipotle app. So whenever I go to Chipotle, I scan it and I get points for like every burrito, and then I get like free burritos. So that's my like other answer. Whatever like fast food or restaurant that you go to, there's probably some sort of rewards perks program thing.
Yeah.
Where you could A, be saving a lot of money, and B, be getting free food.
Yeah.
I love both of those things, saving money and free food. So Chipotle app's my other one.
Oh, yeah.
What about you?
I would have to say, honestly, not just because I work here, but it would be the Eagleville app, because there is like so many events going on that's happening, even though we've got a giant calendar in the office. Just knowing what's happening, when, what's going on, that's fantastic just to catch up with that, knowing what's happening. I think the responsible side of me would be the Every Dollar app.
Nice.
It's the Dave Ramsey app that helps you. Yeah, it's a budget app. It helps you track all of your stuff. So I think that would be one that would be very helpful.
Nice.
On that.
You use that?
No, I don't. I should.
So
I have in the past, but
gotcha.
I need to. My wife uses it for us. All right. So our next topic that we are going into, you can keep writing down your answers as we go. The next
podcast.
Sitting
there listening, essentially to a conversation, people talk, tell a story. Different than Audible. Audible is reading a book, listening to a book, I should say. Whereas how would you describe podcast? It's like being part of a conversation. Except for
it's like a radio show that you could just speed up if you want.
Yeah, well, that's true. So, questions regarding podcasts. What podcast do you start as soon as a new one is released? As soon as it hits your feed, which one do you start up?
The one that I start up, actually, my wife listens to it a decent amount, is The Office Ladies. We like The Office.
But what do you listen to? Or is it also The Office Ladies?
If I'm with her, it's The Office Ladies. I like Craig Rochelle. He's got leadership podcasts, and a lot of time he interviews people that are really out to do. It's great people that are doing leadership stuff all over the world. So great people as far as that goes.
Cool.
How about yourself?
My podcast would be a youth ministry one. It's called Rethinking Youth Ministry. They have 3 or 4 different speakers each time they talk, who are all ministry leaders, respectively, at their own church and stuff. They all come together and talk about. Usually, there's like one set topic, and they talk about like what's gone well in regards to that, what they've tried that has worked, has not worked, some bloopers, some fails, some. So it's pretty good. It helps me kind of think outside the box as far as youth ministry goes and trying new games, events.
That's cool.
Talks, discussions, structuring it. So yeah, it helps me
kind of process everything.
Yeah, exactly.
What podcast you used to be into?
So when I first started at Eagleville, I was still living with my parents in Cleveland, so I was driving like an hour plus every day. But I would listen to the Dave Ramsey show a lot. I had a lot of student loan debt and everything, so I'd listen to his show, get a lot of motivation. Paid off my debt, so I don't listen to it anymore.
There you go.
So, yeah, I mean, he has a great show. It is very encouraging, but it's also like the same thing every time. People call in with their problems, and he.
Did you call in and scream debt free?
No, I did not.
No, okay.
I did on my back porch though.
Did Bethany do it with you? Or did you do it by yourself?
No, I was kind of kidding, but. Anyways, what about you? What is something that you used to listen to and don't anymore? Adventures in Odyssey?
Adventures in Odyssey. No, one of them that I liked is Froning and Friends. It's a CrossFit podcast. Rich Froning is probably it's kind of an argument, or if not the best CrossFitter that's ever been. He's a Christian guy, and he has 3 or 4 people that are on there. So he has devotionals, and he also talks about fitness. He's got his own CrossFit gym down in Tennessee. So it's really interesting, but sometimes they get really off topic, and it's an hour long. So if it's
that would happen to us.
Yeah, man, I don't have that long of an attention span. So
that's exactly how I feel about podcasts. Yeah. If it's more than 30 minutes.
He ends up yelling at his kids, not yelling at him in a bad way, but like, "Hey, come over here!" And so it kind of, my attention is just lost. So,
if you were to start a podcast, what would you talk about? What would be the main theme?
Man, I think it would honestly be parenting.
Okay.
And the reason it would be parenting is I think there's not a lot of videos, and I've tried to create some videos on my own YouTube channel of explaining things for kids. And I'd like to talk to different parents and how you would explain things towards kids. Good Michael Scott reference is always, he says, explain it to me as if I was a 5-year-old. Because I think a lot of these things you have to break it down. I did a video for communion for kids. I just did one on prayer for kids.
Nice.
A lot of that stuff, I don't think people really understand it, when it comes to church. I think just kind of, so it would be kind of explanation or Bible basics and some of that kind of stuff, breaking it down.
Catechisms.
Yeah. So.
Nice.
That kind of stuff. How about you?
I would bring people on and we would talk about how they are succeeding at life, regrets they had, like if they could go back and do something different, what they would do, how they are currently being the church in their immediate circle, how they have seen God work in their life recently. It just kind of like talk, maybe not like super personal necessarily, but just like if you could like, what would be your chunk of advice spiritually to people, people as a husband, as a father, things like that, and
that's great.
What would be your general advice kind of stuff?
Yeah. Make sure that you're putting your answers in the comments below of what you guys would say.
We are moving on to social media. Kind of similar to apps, but also kind of different.
If you're just joining in, it is our Get to Know You, our tech edition. So we're getting to know each other and we're getting to know you. So make sure you put your answers in the comments below. What social media platform are you on the most?
Instagram. Kind of talked about this.
I would say Facebook. It's kind of the big one. Yeah.
What's the most interesting person or page that you follow on any social media that you're a part of?
I would say the most interesting person that I follow,
or hashtag or whatever.
I would have to say Matt Frazier when it comes to most interesting person. I follow him on Instagram. He is currently the world's fittest man. He's the other person that they would consider to be the world's best CrossFitter beside Rich Froning. So he is he's a pretty interesting guy. He's given his whole life really to being fit. He's passionate about it. So yeah, I like what he has to say. He's a really interesting guy. He has some different things. His wife's also a great cook, so she has her own thing. But Rich Froning too. I met both those guys.
You met him?
No, they don't know who I am.
Oh, I thought you said you met him.
No.
Got you.
They should meet me.
They should.
They should be. I would be the most interesting person for them.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. How about you? Who's the most interesting person for you?
It's not a person. Like I said before, national park photography kind of stuff. The landscapes, people who work or live near the picturesque areas, the mountains, the rivers, that kind of thing. So,
who's the most interesting person for you? Put that down. All right. How about a topic for this one? What is your opinion of TikTok?
Never have I ever been on TikTok myself. I'm kind of a fan I was a big Vine person. I made my own Vines back when I was in college back in the day.
Whatever happened to those?
They're gone. They're dead, unfortunately. Yeah, so a 6-second video, people can watch a 6-second video, but you got to be pretty creative to do something in 6 seconds.
Yeah, interesting.
So it is challenging to create them, be creative in that. So I appreciate the creative outlet that it is. But then I never.
Please tell us your opinions. We know that a lot of people have strong opinions when it comes to this.
I will say, I hate to see people publicly dancing in front of their phone. It's just kind of obnoxious.
But didn't you do the Old Town Road video?
No.
No.
I can't. Again, I've never been on TikTok. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Old Town Road was a big one last year with that song. I think it's one of those things that can be really creative and a lot of fun. People can also just take it like any social media platform and just make it kind of horrible, make it nasty. It doesn't need to be. It can be really funny. People can do lip syncs.
Is it bad? Or there's bad parts of
it? There's parts that can be, and I think that's why, as a parent, you kind of have to watch out. It's a really big trendy thing from, I think, kids 8 and up want to do it. They want to be a part of it. There's new dances, new videos on there each week. So it can be funny. It can be interesting. It can also be very addictive. You have to watch out for that. People I know that get on there, and it's like, whew, there goes an hour of their day or a couple hours. But also can be really funny. Yes.
All right. Second to last segment here is websites, and this is also questions, but kind of also research as well. So there's a slight generation gap between myself and you, and then us and maybe some of our viewers as well. So I want to get some input as far as that. What website do you spend the most time on? Question for you and for you. What website do you spend the most time on?
Man, I probably would say it'd probably be a tie between Google and Facebook. Facebook just seems like it's always on in the background.
So we've also talked about apps and social media, and you've said Facebook a few times. So do you use Facebook as a website or as an app?
Both. I think today, especially with my generation, people hardly check their email anymore. So the fastest way to communicate, even if you don't have somebody's phone number, is to message them through Facebook. And if you're trying to figure out who somebody is, like I was trying to remember who somebody was at church this week, and I looked it up, and you can see who they are on Facebook. So it's your messaging, it's seeing who they are, it's your video conferencing, it's kind of the whole big gorilla that you don't always want to be around, but it's always the most helpful. So, but I do use probably the app the most on my iPad or on my phone. How about yourself? Are you on the website or are you on the app? Or
I don't have the app because I don't want the app. I have the app website. I don't want the website either, but I use it on my computer.
Yeah,
almost exclusively.
What do you feel like that's a trend now with, especially with Facebook, with teens and 20 somethings that they're just done with Facebook?
Teens, yeah, they're not on Facebook. But they're like monopolizing it because like I only really like Facebook for like what you said, the messenger aspect is kind of nice if you don't have someone's contact info. Or Facebook Marketplace is pretty cool. Buying and selling stuff like that's pretty handy because Craigslist is kind of a thing of the past. But yeah, so I think I had Facebook app on my phone one time and it took up the entire space on my phone. I was like, well, that's enough with this. So yeah, I haven't had it in about a zillion years on my.
Yeah,
I always just said I never had it on my phone. Anyways.
Well, I think as a general rule, I mean, if you have kids, watch what they're, Holly had a good one here about TikTok. Just watching what your kids are on and what apps they're using and who their friends are on that. I know some parents, they don't even have their kids on Facebook, but just being cautious on that.
What website do you spend the most time on? Do we just ask that?
Yeah. What is the most useful website? What would you say that one is?
I use websites for two things: research, like reading up on something, or online shopping, whether that's Amazon or REI, and that's about it.
Yeah.
That's my shopping. As far as like research, it'd be like scriptural, biblical kind of stuff, or like a product that I'm looking into buying before I get on Amazon or REI. That's about it.
I would say that the two most useful websites really would be Google, just because you can look up everything and you can find something if you don't know, and Amazon, so that you can get whatever you need immediately. So I think those would be the two biggest ones there. Here's kind of a controversial topic. Do you believe, I mean, being the younger generation, do you think that websites are dying? And do you think it's kind of that battle of websites? There we go. Websites or apps? What is it? Are we, more towards websites or more towards apps?
Probably more towards apps because you can have it on your phone in your pocket, opposed to like when I think of website, I think of like my computer, whether that's my laptop right here, or like people have like a desktop computer, like house computer kind of thing. But on your device, on your iPad, whatever, like people use apps. Except for me, whenever I get on Facebook on my phone, I use Safari.
Yeah,
but I don't.
You don't have the app.
Get on Facebook. So.
Put this in the comments. Are you watching this? Are you on your phone? Are you on your laptop? Or just tell us what you're using when you're watching this. We found here at Eagleville that 90% of people that are watching our content are watching it on their phone or their tablet. It's not on their desktop or on a website. So it's pretty interesting, this idea that we're getting more towards apps on that. So we thought something fun for you.
Our very final segment, we have both compiled approximately 5 questions. I ran out of time. I didn't actually get 5. That Adam and I are going to ask each other rapid fire. So this part scripted, this part unscripted. Adam does not know my questions. I do not know Adam's questions. But for your joy and entertainment of getting to know each of us.
And you just got to answer. You can't say, I don't know, or,
Yeah. All right. Here's my first question for you. Would you rather, if it was totally possible, explore the ocean or explore outer space?
I would say the ocean. I always feel like in outer space, you're just going to get lost out there. I'd rather go in the ocean. That whole, like, having one of those things over your face, though, I don't know about that. But I would say the ocean. It's mine.
Nice.
Okay, first question for you. What was your first car, and did you name it?
It was a Toyota Camry. No, it had no name. If you could have any job for 1 week, any job in the world, what job would it be and why?
A motivational speaker. Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's your answer. You got to go
That's
with it.
it. Yeah,
Right.
I like to go and preach and teach, give the gospel, pretty much. This is my dream job. So, yeah.
Okay. Nice.
All right, to you. Mine is a little bit harder. Do you think alien life exists? And if they do exist, do they go to church?
Oh, yes, I do think they exist. Do they go to church? I haven't really thought about anything beyond if they exist or
Do they
not.
do the U version?
Yeah. UFO version, maybe.
UFO version.
I would say yes, they do. So,
All right.
what animal best represents you?
Man, the animal best represents me. I'd say a tiger.
Classic.
Tiger King.
it
Because
is.
either they're growling or they're just laying there.
And that's you.
I don't know.
Just,
Maybe.
all right.
I sleep. All right. If you were going to a charity auction, what would you paint for that charity auction? It was an art auction. What would you paint? If you had to go, you're going to a charity art auction, and you had to paint a painting, what would you paint? Can't say I don't know.
The work would be called Bridge Over Troubled Water.
And you'd paint a bridge over troubled waters?
Not necessarily. It might be a self-portrait titled Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Oh!
I don't know. I know the title of it, that's for sure.
There you go.
Here's a question. How old do you want to be? So give me a number, but your lifespan will not exceed said number. How old do you want to be?
Oh, just be that age for the rest of my life?
No, like you're going to die at that age.
Oh, I would just die at that age. 85.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that's a good age just to call it quits.
Nice.
Sorry for those that are 85 that are watching. I'm just talking about myself. Yours, this is a little bit harder. Would you rather, you were doing your second sermon here at Eagleville, would you rather fart while preaching or lose your luggage on a mission trip?
Oh, man, that...
Fart while preaching or lose your
Because
luggage
in front
on
of a
mission
crowd
trip?
and on, like, not one... Dude, I ate a snake one time. People haven't let me live that down. So
And this would be on Facebook.
I'd rather lose my luggage and
That's a long trip, man.
like a full week.
You're wearing the same thing.
Yeah, basically I already do, so it's not that much different than what my daily life is. I have
good.
4 questions written down. Do you
All
have
right.
any more?
I have one last one. This is a pretty easy one. What was your parents' nickname for you as a kid?
Chief.
That's really what they called you, Chief?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Like my dad did.
You did?
Or maybe Yaya. I think my baby, like when my younger brother was a baby,
Yeah.
referred to me as Yaya. Which then,
Mm.
when we moved to Cleveland, our neighbors were Greek, and grandma in Greek is Yaya, because we'd hear the grandkids yell Yaya, and we kind of put it together that that means grandma. Yeah, so
Hi, guys.
joke's on me.
It's me, Pastor Eric.
All right, y'all, that was a long video. Hope you
So
guys enjoyed
from me and Pastor Yaya, we hope that you're having a good day. It is summertime. Enjoy it outside. Have a fantastic day. We love you. We're praying for you. And as always,
Stay safe, for real. Stay healthy.
stay alive.